This is a book of my 20 years work, and the Japanese title is called Morning Glories, Climbing My Being. And then English title is Blossoming. So this is the box, it goes into the box. And then luckily, the designer of this book is here. He came to paint with us, so I'm really happy. So this morning, we were presenting this book directly from his hands, you know. And then the comments he was telling us was really touching. So I just show you, because this is my older work of 20 years. And because of this sentence, I wanted to make a book. Can you see the sentence? This book is dedicated to Osho. So I wanted to really make a most beautiful book. The quality and the paintings and the poems of Satyanand, which is a disciple of Osho. And then I met him in Toledo about 30 years ago. So this is his name. And then, so I never see any Japanese in Spain. So I asked, what you are doing here? And he said, I came here to make poems. I said, really? I'm a poet. So this really touched me, that somebody takes poem to be a poet as a profession, because there are so few people in the world that they become a poet. So I respected that. Then we became friends, and then we were really keeping this in our mind, you know. Let's publish a book together, your poems and my paintings. So this book is an outcome of our longing. And I really like his sense of beauty. Yeah? He's always aware of the silence, and then silence which is being expressed in black. And you can see matte black and then brilliant black. So I like just his sense of silence as darkness, you know. And that's all what I'm teaching in black and white painting. And then this title, which we chose, is part of the poem that I want you to imagine. Morning glories are climbing, you know, your being. And this image itself, it's a message, because if you really feel the morning glories climbing your being, then you get health and you get well-being, you know. I want the people to connect more and more with life, and then to be more creative. That's why I want to share of what I'm discovering day by day, through meditation, through working with Osho, through painting. And then, you know, for example, this painting is morning glories are already in the heaven. They are looking down the sky. So this is really, I discovered, because when I had no more energy to paint in Pune, and I was sleeping, and when I opened my eyes, on the white paper, the shadow was falling, and then it was more crisp, clear, and simple, and more beautiful than whole entire nature itself. Because in India, during the day, it gets so hot, so the nature doesn't look so interesting, you know, it becomes like a spinach. So I started copying the shadow. And then the reason I wanted to dedicate this book to the morning glories, because they are the flowers, they live only for, you know, 5 hours, and they prepare 1 year to be a flower. So this, if we can learn, yeah, as a human, to live like this, only for 5 hours, you prepare yourself. Then you will not complain. You will not waste your time, you know, And you know when the time comes, then you enjoy the flower and dance with it. So this is 2 poems which my poet friend was dedicated to my sister, because she was really one of the most beautiful person I met, I think. Every man loved her because not only she was beautiful, but her spirit was really like a cherry blossom. And she was not hesitant, you know. She was so generous, giving the cash all over people who don't have money. She supported me, she supported other people. I really love her, you know. So these 2 poems are dedicated to her while she was almost dying. She was just breathing in the hospital. So he was sitting beside her bed and he was writing a poem. And then I love this book because this book is already 10 years old, but this book never gets old. The design is continuously fresh, and then I love his concept. He says, anything written down, explanation about when I did, the title and everything, he said it's a disturbance, disturbing the silence. So he said, I prefer nothing is written and just a painting. Like you see that although I learned oil painting and the Occidental way of the painting, to use the head and the dimensions and distance and proportions, all these things I learned, as soon as I discovered the way of the water, you know, watercolor, I discovered that I am Japanese, and then I didn't learn how to paint a Japanese painting or Chinese calligraphy painting. My body knows. I was really surprised. I remember my professor said one time, you have a great sense of color, my professor said, you know. So I was very angry because I had a complex about the colors. And then I said, you are just kidding me, you know. You are making fun of me because you know that I can't paint in color. Many paintings are done in Amsterdam. We used to live in the boat with 12 people. We had art commune. Yeah, this painting I have done it in Switzerland, and then we had another commune in Lugano. So all the painters moved together to Italy, to Switzerland. So there I found these hortensias in the mountains. I was very touched because these flowers are blossoming without people watching it. So I learned a lot out of the nature. Yeah, like this painting, huh? That I have done this painting in raining season in India. So we were wearing rubber boots. We put a box, and we cover with a plastic and umbrella. And wherever I paint, I take it off. Yeah? Then I paint there. Then we cover the plastic. So we were so passionate to paint. The bad weather, good weather, we just wanted to paint. So this is a painting which Osho chosen for the first book, yeah, of Satyan Shivan Sundaram, Truth, Virtue, and Beauty. And then I was so intrigued by this. So this is from Redwood, California. Also from Amsterdam. And here you can see I have a Japanese spirit. I was always wondering that, you know, this red and green, yeah? like a shrine. In the shrine, you see the absolutely red entrance, and then against the dark green. And then that's really something symbolic color combination. And then I was really crazy after this combination of red and then green painting. You see, that this designer said to me that, of course, I love your painting, but the book has to have his own life, yeah, so that the book doesn't never die. So he plays around. I love his creativity and then easiness to design. You see here, he mirrored from one side to the other. So these paintings are really big painting, and then this is a space where Osho was giving their discourse, you know. So I painted when Osho left Pune. I was painting this nature for 1 month. And I loved India's light, you know, like 3-4 o'clock light. So this is also, I painted in Sicily. You see, now I am not painting like that. This is like a mosaic, no? And it's very interesting because usually painters, they do background painting, then you paint something on top. But this painting is the other way around. You go with a flower, yeah, this is the biggest, what you see. Then you go next, then next, 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 yeah, the form upon forms. Because here I saw the space as a form. And then, so this was really intriguing for me when I discovered that. Of course, through painting like this, I learned a lot of patience, you know, how to be patient. So morning glories at night. This is in Sicily, in Italy. Yeah, I wanted to say. So this is only the page which has a frame. Yeah, because usually all the art books, it has only the frames. So this book is a very unique book. And then I wish people know about this book because it's not in the internet, it is not in the bookshop. It's only when I show, people are aware that a book like this exists. So I really would like to introduce you this book. And this is Japanese morning glories. I really love these flowers. I used to love always, you know, because summertime you get up in the morning, you come out of the house, then these flowers are flowering. It's so fresh. So I painted in different ways about these flowers. And this is another favorite flower of mine. It's called a kanna. In India, I painted. I want to tell you about the story of this painting. Osho was giving a discourse, and somebody was laughing so hysterically because a leaf was falling. So he stopped talking and he stood up and he said, "If you are not receiving my talk, I'm not going to talk anymore. And unless you apologize altogether, I'm not coming back," he said. So this was my apology to Osho. I am shining in the darkness. So this was my message to Osho. So please come out. This is also from Italy I did. See how patiently I can paint. So one day we were in Sicily painting. Then one morning early I went to the field and I got a shock. I saw that somebody threw the Kleenex all over the field. And it was this flower, because I never saw the flower like this. The stem is so long, you know, and the flower like that. I really like this flower. Yeah, this is one of my favorite paintings. Then the designer, Toshin, he made a little joke. Yeah, look, that's his creativity. I show you. Yes, you can see. Yeah, so he reversed, you know, the effect of the photo. So he reversed this painting into this color. So that's what I'm teaching nowadays in the training. Yeah, light and dark. And then all the mechanism of the form is only seen because of this contrast, ongoing journey of light and dark, light and dark. Even the plants. Yeah? So imagine if you do it with a tree, then you can make a volume, you can make a form, you can make a space, disappear, and another forest. You can keep on doing that, you know? And then, so this is a very, when you reverse it, it looks more complex than the original, isn't it? So this is my new teaching I'm doing. So this is hortensias in the rain. And this painting I dedicated to Van Gogh. And then sometimes I like to dedicate to the painter. I didn't know them, but when I see some paintings, my spirit wakes up, you know, to see a Van Gogh painting. I really love what he did. He disappeared into the nature, in the wind, alone. He had nobody around him, and then he had a dialogue with cherry flower, cherry trees, you know. And of course, his way of painting is not like I do, and it's very strong and then thick colors. Of course, I am a different person, but still, this is a dedication to Van Gogh I did. Yeah, and then Toshin, the designer, said, after the ecstasy comes silence. I did it with the best printers in Tokyo. And then this old guy, he was like 80 years old. He's only looking at my painting, and then he's listening to what I say. Because I say, no, this is too light. It has to be deep and then more thick color. And then I'm just saying, you know, commenting, because I know my original, how it looks. Then he was only listening, you know, no arguing. He was like a samurai looking at my paintings like this. So this book is a precious outcome of our love, you know. And yeah, about this is my background, where I studied, which exhibition, and so on, so on, so. So I asked my poet friend, so can you give me yours, your background and so? And he said, I don't need things like this. My poem is enough. So he is like this, very pure. And so he's a farmer. He makes rice in Japan, takes care of the parents, and then have a kid. So it's really grounded, but it's yet longing, you know, to express. So here I would like to introduce you, because there is no translation in this book of this 2 faxes. This is the last fax of our conversation. To beloved Meera, like a bird flying in the sky, like a fish swimming in the water. The words is the distance. If everything is a blue sky, it's a blue sky. If it rains, it will rain. If Meera feels poem, that's a song. Maybe. Anti-atomic song doesn't exist. poem is, it's like a work to splash the sand on the desert, in the desert, maybe. Green is a color. That's more than enough, maybe. Repetition means the coagulation, stiffness of the noun to shake. Like a bird, like a fish, they are shaking. It's something like that. Or, in between the words, the wind is going through, maybe. Today is a blue sky. Tomorrow, I don't know. So, there is no answer to the art. That is art. See you, love from desert. Such an Anand, P.S. feeling the wind of India. So that's his way to answer me. I'm asking a very practical question about the poem, and he answers like that. So I'm happy to introduce you this book, and I wish you will say, I want to have it in my house one day.